Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tu Yang. Thank you so much for being here. Today, I would like to listen to Peter Barber's Game of Thrones main theme. Now, I've heard a little bit of this, a snippet of it on TikTok, and I commented, I'm totally going to react to this, Peter. And he commented back, yeah, you need to. 6 octaves is going on here. And so it's a pretty short listen. So what I'd like for you to do is go to his channel, the link will be listed below, and listen to it and come back and let's kind of listen to it together, and I'll talk a little bit about certain musical ideas that may or may not apply, and we'll go from there. Thank you so much. If you like these videos, please support me below. There are links below. Subscribe, share, whatever you do you, and I'll do what I can on this side. If you hear birds and you hear steps, this is a live, very, very lively day today, so much appreciated. Let's begin. Let me move here. Okay, there we go. And here we go. Double checking the keyboard. Okay, getting sound. Last time I recorded this, there wasn't any sound, so here we go. And we will stop right there. Amazing work, Peter. And what's so interesting about Peter's voice is that he is a bass baritone, and sometimes I like to call this specific type of voice not just in between bass and in between baritone, but really bass plus baritone, meaning that he's starting off on a low C, right? And that's for a bass baritone. I mean, really, for a bass baritone, even for a low bass, a low C is no joke. And I understand there are vast amounts of range extension techniques, videos out there where you have people going down to like a C negative, whatever. Really, C2 is sort of like the money note for basses, especially in opera. If you have a C2, whew, I mean, you pretty much have most of the rep down. I mean, a single with C2, right? And in this case, I really enjoy that Peter is utilizing from the get-go this amazing his range. So let's go back to the very beginning. We are in the key of C. And usually when you have music such as this, you don't really have a tonal center. Like, it's not C major. It actually starts off in a minor feel and it shifts to like a major feel. Think of it more as, instead of an actual key, but more about scales or modes, more specifically in this case. So it's a flip between, you have that major and minor kind of a bounce back and forth here at the very beginning. So listen to what the background is doing, and you will be able to hear those differences. I really like what he's doing there. And if I'm sorry about that. There is a little bass ornamentation here that I do enjoy. So listen to that again. So we have, which is that minor sound, that minor chord. And listen to the next part. Right. So really good setup there. Right there. So it's not just or in the lower octave. Let's see here. He has almost like those additional notes in between. Right, listen to that again. Right. Right, and if you think of a bass player, it's not just about 1-5-1, 4-1-5-1. There are some other notes, whether it's a grace note, whether it's a movement, whether it's in between notes, to get you to that, to give it some melodic shape in the bass line. Those are always amazing bass lines to listen to, is when the bass is moving more than just your typical slotted chord changes. So I really enjoy that, and I'm sure it's also in the original theme, but that's besides the point here. I'm trying to only evaluate this specific Game of Thrones theme that was arranged. So let's focus on that idea and let's listen to it. He does it again in the next sequence. Right, so we have the low B flat. Very nice too, nice and full. No restrictions there. It's not like pulled back, but it's nice and present. Right, so there's a lot of movement there, and I really enjoy that. Yeah, I like that fourth. We're in the, so we went to like a. And then here. So we stay almost like on this suspended, where you have that fourth degree, that F in the top part, before we go back down. I love those suspensions like that, so let's listen to that part again. Nice. Yeah, and so listening to the bass, you forget that Peter also has the use of a nice G4 there. So up here. And such a nice blend there too, where it's still very chesty, but you can tell that he's not just yelling those notes, that he has full control, and he's kind of, if you want to call it, really easing onto that edge a little bit more to give it more of a presence. And I like how he does it here, where it starts off slightly more, if you want to call it, more headier, and then a little bit more chestier, if for the lack of a better term, lighter, and then a little bit heavier, the light mechanism, heavy mechanism, etc. But still a very, very professional mix all the way through. And I believe I do hear it up the octave, so let me move my keyboard up. Yeah, so that is also up the octave. Nicely done. Let's keep moving. And so these chord movements, let's kind of evaluate these chords a little bit. I think it was right about here. So to the flat 6 again. So that means based on these chord movements, we are more in like a minor feel with a major movement here and there, like a shift between the two, the parallels. And then here we are in A flat major. Okay, so I can kind of hear it in my headphones. So right now I'm using these K240s, and they don't really do too well with the bass. But the fact is that whether by mixing and technique and just overall skill. Peter is really well-rounded in that he knows his technique, he knows his sound, his engineering, and he knows how to master these tracks. He knows how to mix, and he does have the technique to get down there to a C1, I believe, is what I'm hearing. Right about there. And so very, very well done. The movements there, if you were wondering, the chord progressions were A flat major, then E flat major with a C with a 6, and then F minor, back to C minor, and then again. And I believe we sit on F minor for a little bit, so let's move back just a little bit here. My mistake, it went. So you have your 5, which stays in that natural minor sound. I did not hear a third, so let me listen to it again. Yeah, so no major third there. Of course. So you have these trumpets blasting and this tuba and low strings, right? Your contrabass, contrabassoon, etc. with a low. And then this. See, Peter, I have to change octaves for my keyboard just to just to get you in there. There we go. So very, very nicely done. And I believe that is the end of the video. Awesome. No, nothing else after that. So let's go back to the very beginning. Yeah. Overall, I just really, really enjoyed this. Themes are really interesting in that they are meant to conceptualize, meant to really depict either a character or the actual show itself. If you listen to, if you remember watching Boy Meets World, Family Matters, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, all these theme songs, right? The Ninja Turtle theme songs, theme song, Nickelodeon theme songs, etc. They all have a certain character that they're building, and this character is derived from sort of like a motif or a leitmotif. And what that is a set of pitches and rhythms that sort of define an actual character or represents a character in whether in a movement or in an opera per se. And those similar ideas, it's not the exact idea, of course, but those similar ideas are presented in music today. And a theme that we all generally recognize is the perfect fifth theme. Right, we hear that as the Superman theme, right? Ba-ba-da-bum, and that perfect fifth. And so here, if you listen to what's happening at the very beginning, you kind of get a sense of some thematic material. And then it repeats in a sequence. And then it's presented in the higher voice. And so if we extract that idea, let's go a little bit lower here. And then you have some sort of ostinato going on. And it should repeat itself in a sequence. And the beauty of themes is that there's it's almost like speaking in a sentence, right? When we have a sense of the beginning, we have a sense of where the middle is, and we like for there to be a period when the sequence is done. And so when you listen to that in isolation, you have and then it has some other things going on there, and it moves down a whole step to B flat, and it's slightly different, right? There's a slight variation, slight variation, right? And it gets us back home, and or it can take us somewhere else. And that's the beauty of a theme, is that it's very singable, it's very memorable. There are melodic contours that make sense vocally and also speech-wise. When we speak, can you imagine, there are some certain individuals that would speak, and if they always end their sentence in a higher manner at the very end, it almost feels like it never really ends, and it keeps on going with the question, and for whatever reason, it causes some tension, as if the voice never goes down, and it keeps us up there, and I'm even uncomfortable doing this as I continue moving my voice up instead of ending it down. And notice how that amount of tension that I've created finally gets resolved at the end. And when we're writing melodies, theme songs in general, and so I'm just talking beyond the composition now, we need to remember that there is a line that follows the story as well, and it also follows the text, or it may follow an idea in music. This is why classical music has such a powerful setup, but it's also it takes a long time to set these things up, because you have to go through certain key changes, certain character development, certain other developments, rhythmic developments, soundscapes, chord changes, ideas, A section, B section, and then you get this beautiful melody that has been just fully developed from the very beginning, and you finally get a taste of it, and it's so satisfying. Think of it as, if you want to think of it in food wise, it's almost like a 3-course meal of some sort, right? You don't just go and, hey, here's my food for the day, but there's a certain order in which you eat, and the way it's presented to you, and the way you eat, and how you consume it. All these things matter, and it's very similar to music as well, and how Peter develops this and how he presents it to us in an a cappella manner makes it even more satisfying. And those of you that are a cappella geeks, such as myself, you will find that Peter's arrangement is it's really on point. I will say also his vocal percussion. I remember him telling me that he did vocal percussion, and I really enjoy his sound. So let's kind of talk a little bit about that too. And I think I like the addition of the snare and the bass at the same time. I feel like sometimes we think of vocal percussion as it has to be beatbox. It has to have all these extra sounds, like from a beatbox machine, or extra, it has to have this color, it has to have this timbre, it has to have these techniques. When really, sometimes when you're serving a theme song, and even professional beatboxers know this, is that their individuality can be shown as a soloist. And there are beatboxers out there that sing with a cappella groups, and it's not that they're holding back, it's actually they're serving the music. And I really appreciate that this right here, right? If he were to overdo the beatbox, it would be more about the beatbox than it is about the theme. I like that he's emphasizing the transients that are important, right? The time signature it feels like 6/8 to me, and we are at about 84, 85 beats per minute in that sense. So we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, bump, 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 bump. And listen to where the beat falls, right? so we have this duple meter, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, or this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This duple overall, the overarching beat, and then the bass drum is actually emphasizing 1 and 3. And when you think about it, that 1 and 3 actually gives us that sense of proceeding before the downbeat, almost like a dum dum boom boom pa. So the way the rhythms are emphasized gives us a sense of, okay, we are feeling like we're in 6/8, but there's also a sense of 3 within that 2, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so we have this 2 against 3 that's happening just within the percussion itself, and then also within the arrangement that overarches it. With theme songs, dynamics typically are more about the arrangement, and sometimes popular music gets a lot of flack for this, for just simply being loud the entire time. And you have to think of it almost like as if you were thinking of the harpsichord, which has one dynamic only. And in order for you to create a sense of dynamic, you have to terrace it, right? You have to add more notes, you have to add more composition, there has to be more rhythmic movement. And when you think of it that way, the sense of dynamics in this song is actually within the range of the instrument, and then also the density as well as the harmonies of it. So let's go ahead and listen from here. Let's move down a little bit from here to the very end and see if you can get a sense of that, right? Obviously, this is mastered for our entertainment, for earbuds, for the car, for anywhere. And I appreciate what Peter has done with that. And so what you want to do is now see if you can appreciate the use of compositional or arranging techniques to solidify a sense of dynamics just within the composition itself. High A flat. And you have that. So that always leaves you hanging, right? When you have a suspension at the very end, choirs do this often. A lot of music will do this, is rather than going. And I'm not sure if this happens in the original as well. What I will say is that going to ending on that C and that F, gives you a sense of, again, there's that anxiety. Okay, when is the clarity going to come? When will it be resolved? And sometimes it won't be, because they're going to hit you with the actual introduction of the show itself, or the movie, or another theme, or movie somewhere else. And so the music is created in such a way that it's telling us a story as well. Overall, great job, Peter. I really, really enjoyed this. This reaction was a lot longer than I expected, so I hope you enjoy this. If you enjoy these videos, or if you would like for me to evaluate other videos, I understand that I tend to be very biased with my colleagues, meaning that I like reacting to their videos, and I tend to kind of stay away from other videos simply because, one, the time and the schedule that I get to do these videos. But if there is a demand and there is a need, if you would like for me to listen to something else besides the Bass Gang, besides the Wellerman, etc., then please, by all means, let me know. Comment below, send me a message. These are my bass brothers. These are my colleagues. I love supporting them, and they deserve all the accolades and all the reviews that they can receive. So once again, check out their channels. Check out Peter's channel. He's almost at 60,000 subscribers. Please make sure you direct yourself that way if you haven't already. Again, thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a wonderful day.